Long time no see, guys. It has been over a month at this point, and we're excited to share all that God did in our hearts for the past month and a little bit over a month, almost like a month and a half.
Yeah, about a month and a half, exactly, as soon as this comes out. But man, such a time of refreshing and a time of just thinking and resting from the camera. We love you guys, seriously, but I think it is good to step away now and then from things even that you love so that you can rest and just redirect your focus on where you want to go moving forward.
Yeah, and I do want to address like a comment that I think we saw quite frequently, even on the last video. People were saying, I mean, you guys only post like several times a month anyway, and I was like, yeah, that's very true, but that's why we needed this break, because we felt like we had to kind of keep going on empty, if that makes sense. And I think until you create content for so long, you don't realize how draining it can be if you don't do it out of a place of abundance rather than
like overflow.
Yeah. And we wanted to be back in that place. And I had never intentionally taken a break in over 10 years of creating content, and that's not healthy. Like, I don't ever want to replicate that for anybody. And same with Nick. Ever since he started, we've never taken an intentional break. And we realized a lot of things that are really exciting during our break that I think we're gonna start changing, and you guys will see this, but it's all great changes.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the reasons that some of the changes are happening is because of some really exciting stuff in our personal life, of which I'm about to share with you. Some people are always like, yeah, there's some really amazing stuff going on in our personal life. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you any of it, but just trust, like, no. So some of the really exciting things that are happening in our personal life, some of you guys know, I was in Bible college for a few years, and I graduated last spring with my Bible degree. And that's super exciting. I've always felt, not always, but I felt a call in my life to ministry really since I became a Christian. And if you're a Christian, you might understand that. If you're not, I'm sure you can still understand it in some regards. I just have a passion to preach, to teach, to help people in ministry. And lately, man, the opportunity has been going bananas. Like, it's been through the roof. And so that has been taking a lot of my time. In fact, as soon as we're done with this video, I actually have to practice through 2 sermons that I'm preaching in Texas next week. So, you know, a lot of exciting stuff that's happening in our personal life. We're working on something.
Yeah, we teased in the last video of what we're working on, but we had to talk to some people.
It's for you. It's for you. It's for you.
We can't quite share that yet, but we're very, very close to being able to. And I think watching Nick step into this calling that he's had on his life for so many years, like, this has been something that for as long as I've done YouTube, he's known about himself that like, God has called him specifically to be an evangelist. And if you don't know what that is, it is a person who goes around to churches, anywhere, like, they can get an audience in front of them, or even just one person, and share the gospel, the good news of Jesus with other people, which is life-saving, life-changing, soul-saving. So it fires us up. It's one of the reasons that this channel exists, is to share the hope of Jesus through so many different avenues. You know, we all have different passions, and it should shine through everything that we do. But I think with watching Nick kind of like grow into this, there's been so many seasons I've watched him in where he's just like, man, I just don't understand like why God hasn't opened this door yet. And ever since we walked into like the road of being a family, it seems like God has opened that door even more. I don't know if that is specifically why, because we're more mature, we're walking in a different season, but
last year I came to the point where I was almost ready to just stop and just say, you know what, like, man, I think close to 8-9 years of, you know, seeking to knock on this door, it's like, it's probably enough, you know? And so like, I'll consider just doing business, or, you know, going and getting my MBA and doing something with that. And man, ever since I was content with like my identity not being found in ministry, but in just being a child of God, so much changed. Like so much changed. It really seemed like God opened the door once I was in a place, like me, I was in a place of seeing ministry not as an opportunity to grow a platform, but as a way to serve people. I think that that's when stuff really changed for me. And so if you find yourself, and this wasn't intentional, but if you find yourself in a place today of, man, you've just been like toiling and working and things just aren't working out and you're struggling and, you know, just, man, it just doesn't seem like stuff is going to pan out. Just keep going. Seriously. I know that that's so easy from where I sit to say, and it's so cliche, just like keep going, don't give up. But seriously, I mean,
sometimes you need to have people along your journey to tell you that, because there's so many times where he felt pretty defeated. Yeah. And we had to encourage each other both in what God has specifically called us to. Yeah. And I think that's why we have friends. We have the people that love us, that surround us. And I think, Nick, you also realize that you're just not a lifestyle YouTuber.
Like, you know, no shade to anybody. I love all my lifestyle YouTubers, my peoples, but man, I'm just not really into going out and buying brown clothes and putting that on Instagram. That's just not me. I'm not saying that.
Why did you say brown clothes?
Because that's what all y'all wear, man. Look at
that. I like neutrals,
brown clothes. All y'all wear brown clothes. That's just not me. And no shade, like seriously, some of the names that you're thinking of in your head, like we know those people personally and we love those people. I want to state that very clearly. Like if you're watching this and you're a lifestyle YouTuber friend of ours, like I love you. I'm just not that guy. And I think I've been trying to fit a square peg into a circle hole for years now and like try and be that. But that is just not who God has wired me to be. And so I'm not going to keep attempting to chop a tree down with a baseball bat. Like I have to go and do with what I've been given what I need to do. And and that doesn't mean I'm like vacating and I'm like peacing out and like you'll never see me again.
It just means whenever Nick shows up here, it's going to be more intentional to like bring life-giving conversations or things around relationships or like.
So if you see me in the thumbnail, just go ahead, just grab your tissue box. It's gonna, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
But it's just gonna look a little bit different moving forward on our channel. Like I love the lifestyle content. I get inspiration from seeing other women and couples, like the way that they do their life and how they implement all of these like healthy boundaries and things. Yeah. I don't know how you guys operate. I don't know if that's the type of content you like, but we're planning on doing a morph of both. So lifestyle, how you live your life. That's what I see lifestyle being.
And I do think it's important that we address even here on camera. I think we might have been just really zealous with Hudson, just having him and like, wow, he's here and oh my gosh, he's perfect. Yeah. I think we might have been a little too zealous with putting him on camera. And I say that for two reasons. One, if it seemed overbearing on your end of just like, man, it seems like every video is about their kid. And then two, I don't want Hudson when he's older to feel used for views or anything like that. So we've taken note of that and our team has taken note of that and we're making all the adjustments necessary. But I mean, we're figuring this thing out, guys. Like we're young, just like you. And you never asked for a humongous platform, but God trusted you with it. And so we're trying to steward it to, you know, the best that we can.
Yeah, and I think we just lost sight for a while of why we're doing this, like why this channel exists, and we got so caught up in like what our life was like and just trying to get our bearings of all the changes that we were just like, okay, we'll just document like our life because it just seems like what you do. Right. But we lost sight of what you guys need in your life and how we can be a vessel to provide hope and inspiration and joy and all of those things. Yeah. So that is our heart into this. And with that being said, in a few minutes, we're jumping on a call with our podcast team. The podcast has not been in existence for a really long time and we've been sad about it.
Seriously. And you might be like, oh, Nick and Chelsea are lazy. They stopped doing their podcast. No, y'all. No. There is a road from where I'm sitting. There is a main highway that goes through this city 50 feet that way. Yeah. I am not joking. 50 feet that way, there's a main highway. So every time that we get. You might be able to hear the car. I don't know. This microphone's pretty good. But every time that we would get on the podcast and record, a semi would come through, a lady would run through a freaking light pole. Like, I'm not kidding. Everything under the sun imaginable.
So we found a solution, and the solution is a podcast recording
podcast studio.
So not only will we be in an environment that is conducive to our situation, but it also will involve people who are really great with tech and like can help us out.
Yo, we're gonna have a producer.
That's so strange.
How bougie does that sound? Did you ever think that Chelsea and Nick would have a freaking producer?
Crazy.
Because I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
We just hear those words thrown around by our friends in the media space, and we're always just like,
ooh, they rich.
Yeah. But really, we looked into it, and it's not too bad to afford. Yeah. So we're like, okay, let's make this step because we really want to provide like just deep, rich, life-giving conversations to you guys.
I think in the context of that kind of environment, that's a place where they can really flourish because we can focus.
Right. And we're not having our baby crying and trying to fit it in between his naps. Like there was just so much chaos here that we had to avoid. Yeah. And we could never avoid it. We just kept getting frustrated. So that's exciting.
Excited for that. And I will be on every single one of those. Yeah. So if you're like, oh my God, like if there's like two of you who are like, oh my gosh, Nick is not going to be in as many videos. Like, don't worry, I'll be in every single podcast. And we're going to throw a few links right here, wherever you listen to podcasts from. If you listen to podcasts, we'll throw an Apple, Spotify link, some others maybe as well. And go subscribe to it. Go leave us a review if you want to listen to some episodes.
It's called Forever Changed.
Yes, it used to be called Encounter Now, but we recently, not really recently anymore, we just haven't uploaded as much, but we called it Forever Changed. We have been marked by the presence of God in our own lives, and that has forever changed us. And I believe that we are all on this journey together of being forever changed by whether it is your faith life, whether it is life itself, whatever it might be. I think that we're all constantly in this journey of changing and growing and being and learning. And so we just want you to join in on that journey with us so we can walk the road together.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And we'll start uploading more here.
Yes.
Sorry it's been such a break, but we needed it. I don't know if you can tell, but we're like refreshed. Yeah. And I haven't felt that in so long. And
I feel good.
Even several people on Instagram were like, man, you just seem like you have so much of a different energy to you. I just felt like I was almost getting bitter of being on the internet. You were. And it wasn't intentional. I didn't want to feel that way, but I just really think I needed to spend alone time and some reflection and
Hey, and instead of leaving a goofy comment down in the comment section like some YouTubers will tell you to do, which if you want to do, that's fine. But tell us like the best way. This is a real question I want you to answer. Tell us in the comments. We're going to read and we're going to try and like or respond in some kind of fashion to every single one of them. Tell us the best way that we can serve you in the season of life that you're in, and maybe just your age. You don't have to share your name or where you're from or any of that, but maybe just like how old you are, and then the best way that we can serve you with this channel and our podcast and whatever we do in the days ahead. I think that would be really awesome.
Definitely. Please do that because we are here for you. So, but that's it. I think Hudson's asleep. Paul doesn't is great.
Got a call.
We got a peaceful
for our podcast.
And
I'm so excited.
Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. And
seriously,
we're so excited for like the content to shift. I know we've made a lot of like conversations around life changing and all these things up in the air, but like we've made a lot of decisions lately.
Yes.
And I think it's going to show in the content that we create, and it's going to be stuff that brings us joy and hopefully brings you joy too.
This is the most exciting season of our lives as a couple, but also for the life of this channel that I've been around for yet. Like for what's to come, man, I'm pumped. I really am. Like I feel really good about it.
Yeah, and for me personally, this really doesn't have much to do with Nick, but I've been on a journey of like identity and purpose, and like even seeing a counselor this past month specifically with just me, and I can't wait to share like all the things that I've been learning and hopefully can help you guys in that area, because I think a lot of us struggle with it and we just have a hard time admitting that, and sometimes we can't even recognize it in ourselves. So super stoked to get into some more life-changing things. So
it's gonna be awesome.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
We'll see you soon.
Y'all the goats.
Bye. Do you want to see Hudson?
Oh, let's see it.
He's asleep on his tummy.
Oh, it's a little nugget.